Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. We are here with Brewing with the Bones this morning. So we are waiting. We're going to wait for a few to get in. I think Jeffrey Resendez is already in. Good morning. He's always in, always earlier than he needs to be. And I think Dawn is here. Hello, Dawn is here. And then Will is here, but our dear sweet little Wyatt decided he was going to wake up super early on a Saturday morning. So he's already awake. So Will is trying to wrangle him this morning while I do this show. So again, welcome everyone who's joining us live. And then welcome and thank you everyone who's going to watch the replay. We appreciate it so much and we're so happy to have you. So, oh, there's Will. He just piped in. So we're going to get started. I only have one really big news story this morning, and I thought I would share this with everyone because this was the big news yesterday. Hello, Michael Riley. That's a new face. We're so excited you're here. We love new faces on our shows. So hello, good morning. All right, so yesterday, which would have been September 25th, some big news hit from the governor of Florida. Hello, Colin. Another new face. I love it. I love new faces in the chat. Onward. I'll answer that question as soon as I say this big news. So the governor of Florida now moves Florida into phase 3 of reopening. So this will affect Disney World and Universal. I don't know any ramifications around Universal, but here's what I have for Disney so far. This executive order that he signed yesterday will remove all statewide restrictions. It'll move into phase 3. So phase 3 technically, in the article says technically, still restricts businesses to operate at maximum of 75 capacity. But on the other hand, lifting these statewide restrictions means restaurants and bars can operate at whatever capacity they want because there will no longer be statewide fines or fees for not wearing a mask or not following the capacity. So technically, they need to stay at 75%, but they will no longer be receiving any fines or fees if they do not follow those rules or the mask rule. So it's going to be up to whatever restaurant or bar wants to follow those rules. So local governments can still regulate some businesses, but they will not be able to close businesses because of COVID-19 concerns. Private businesses would include Walt Disney World and Universal in Florida. They can still operate with their own restrictions. But in another article I read, it literally says Governor Ron DeSantis will be lifting restaurant capacity restrictions and supports Walt Disney World increasing their capacity. So I think I did read another article too that came out this morning that said Disney World will still be following the mask protocol. Everyone will still need to be wearing a mask, which if they want me to wear a mask to go into the park and that keeps them open, I'm totally going to do it. I agree, Dawn. Walt Disney World will be able to open their restaurants. Disney will do it right and still follow safety protocols. I feel like Disney will probably stay at that 75% capacity, but they're going to increase capacity in their parks as well. So I'm all for it. I love it. So that's the good news of the day. That's so exciting. And as most of you know, our announcement is we're going back to the parks. Dawn is going for the first time this year, and Will and I are going for the second time this year in November for Dawn's birthday, and we couldn't be more excited. So hopefully It'll be a little bit easier to get dining reservations and stuff like that while we're there. So we're so excited. All right, Colin, I'm going to answer your question. So I have only seen Onward one time, and I'm not going to lie, I was halfway paying attention. I personally, just my first impression, I guess, I was kind of bored. But that is definitely not the impression that Will had watching it. So I think I need to watch it at night when my son is asleep and I can kind of just tune in to that movie. So I may have to watch it again. Again, it wasn't my favorite. So I'm sorry for all you Onward fans. And then Colin said he loves Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. Super great. I love all of those. And recently I became a Little Mermaid fan. I haven't always been a Little Mermaid fan, but I recently became one. So Colin also says Coco is underrated. Do you agree with that? A lot of people love Coco. I love the music. I will say, I love the music in Coco. But as a movie in general, I think it's good. I do. I just don't know if it's one of my favorites. I may have to watch it a couple more times. I think though it's so new, I hope Disney does something with it, to be honest. I feel like it takes Disney a little while to get newer movies into the park and represented correctly. So hopefully at some point, Disney World or Disneyland will do something with it. Good morning, Danielle, Mickey's Girls. Go check out her channel. She has lounge flies like you wouldn't believe. So if you're into lounge flies, hers is a great channel to check out. Hello, Bubba Popper. Bubba Popper, I love it. Good morning. Yes, Will loves Onwards because he has the brothers and it's a Dungeon and Dragon theme. Again, I didn't relate to it really. I may have to watch it. I do think, though, the voice actors they chose for the movie are super great, and I do love how different it is. So it may be a movie I have to go check out later. Good morning, happily ever yachty. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, so no one's really missed anything if you just jumped in. I see that there's now 10 people in the chat. That's so awesome. And we have some new faces this morning, and I love seeing everyone's new faces in the chat. So I'm going to start kind of talking about my top 5 favorite Disney movies, and I'm kind of going to it is like a quick morning show, so I'm not going to go into every single tiny little detail. But as I'm talking, please make sure to mention in the comments, like if you agree with me, if you don't agree, that's okay if you don't agree. I like to know. All right, so if anyone knows me and anyone who's followed us knows, my top favorite Disney movie of all time is Pocahontas. That's a hashtag unpopular opinion. I hear from a lot of people. They don't like Pocahontas. I watched a stream maybe a month ago about a movie review on Pocahontas, and everyone roasted it. And I was the only one that loves it. So let me know. Do you like Pocahontas? And if so, why or why not? I love Pocahontas because I feel like well, first of all, it stems from, I'm not really into history at all, but I do absolutely love, I guess, the Indian culture, like Native American Indian culture. I think it's super fascinating. I love watching TV shows that represent the Indian culture. So I love it. I love it. And that's one of the reasons I've always been drawn to Pocahontas. I think the artistry is amazing. It's so amazing. It's beautifully done. The music is amazing to me. I love every single song in that movie. Happily ever yachty, what movie are you talking about that I don't like? Ask Will. I have a lot of unpopular opinions when it comes to movies, so I'm kind of glad we can do this morning show and I can tell you about my unpopular opinions so that y'all can roast me. I mean, it's interesting. And Pocahontas, I love the characters. Now, I've heard from a lot of people that there's nothing to the characters. I don't buy that. I love every single character in that movie, from John Smith to Governor Ratcliffe to Percy and Miko. I think every single person in that movie plays a vitally important role, and I love the voice actors they chose. I love the music. I still literally get chills when I watch that movie, and I'm 28 years old. So that to me makes a great movie. If I can still get chills after watching a movie 1,000 times, that to me makes a great movie. Colin, you plan on watching the live action version of Aladdin. All I'm going to say is, I don't know what to say. I mean, watch it. We paid for it, and I wish I had my money back, but it's free now on Disney Plus, so watch it. Tell us what you think about it too after you watch it. It's not my favorite, honestly. I think they could have picked better cast members. And I love Will Smith. I just don't think that was right for him. So, Mickey's Girls, Danielle said she's never watched Pocahontas all the way through. Well, I recommend that you do. The ending is the best part, in my opinion. So, yes, Will says the animated is substantially better than live action. I totally agree. But I do hope that you enjoy it. I've heard people enjoy it. So, okay, so my second favorite is Toy Story 2. 2. Now, I say 2 because I like movies that we already know the characters, I guess, and we get into like the true grit of the characters. That's my favorite part of movies. I ask Will, I don't know why, I've always loved the second movie better than the first. Even in the Marvel universe, the Star Wars world, I still like the second movie better than the first. I don't know why, but I do. I agree, Dawn. There's no competing with Robin Williams. Again, I like Will Smith. I just don't think that was the role for him. Good morning, TMC, Neil, DCS. I think that's Tina. I'm still working on learning everyone's names. I'm pretty sure that's Tina. Okay, so Toy Story 2. I love how we get a little bit of the introduction to the new characters. Will has always found Stinky Pete really, really funny. I do too. I love Jessie, and I love Bullseye. I feel like even though we don't know much about them, it just feels like the gang is all back together. Even though, yes, Buzz and Woody are a team, it feels like everyone is back together. And I love that about that movie. I love the new characters that they introduce. I love how Woody kind of struggles with himself a little bit in this movie, and you see more of it in the second or the third and fourth Toy Stories. Woody, to me, always wants to do right by Andy, but I feel like he really struggles with himself as a character. He wants to move on and grow because he knows that eventually Andy is going to move on and grow, but then he always reels himself back into Andy, except the fourth one. But let's not talk about that movie because that's a whole nother stream for me to talk about, because the fourth one is the fourth one. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, Will said James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, said some sequels are better because you're already familiar with the characters. And that's what I like about that. And then Colin says Moana is his guilty pleasure. You know, everyone can have a guilty pleasure. I love it. Moana is amazing. Beautiful. Toy Story 1, 2, 3, yes. Toy Story 4 is okay, but not necessary. Totally agree. Toy Story 4 is completely unnecessary. And again, unpopular opinion, I think Forky is probably the most annoying character that has ever come out of Disney Pixar. That's just my unpopular opinion. But again, Toy Story 2, I love Al's Toy Barn. I think it is so cute, and I would love one day to see an Al's Toy Barn in one of the parks. And even if it's a park overseas, I will fly there to see it because I'm obsessed with Al. I love Al's Toy Barn. I think it is probably one of the cutest things in that movie. Okay. My third favorite movie is Mulan. And I'm not talking about the live action because I refuse to pay $30 to watch that right now. I'm talking about the original cartoon Mulan, animated Mulan. This movie, hilarious from start to finish. Hilarious. Now, there are some serious parts in it, and the serious parts are the ones that, like, ooh, they take my breath away. And I think altogether, this movie has some of the best songs. The best. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the comments and gather my thoughts. It's so much happening. It's so much happening. See, everyone thinks Forky's hilarious. I think he's annoying. And I don't know why. I don't know why. One of the Asian parks has owls. I think it's Shanghai. Okay, Will, we've got to go to Shanghai. So write that down on our bucket list. See, Tina thinks he was the only good part of Toy Story 4. I don't know why, but I don't like him. I don't know why. Maybe I'll work on that. I think he's cute-ish, and I think he's made a lot of cool things for kids. Like they have the Forky make your own Forky boxes, I guess. That's cool. But Mulan. That grandmother in Mulan, let me just tell you, she cracks me up. I love everything about her. And I am a huge Eddie Murphy fan too. I think Eddie Murphy is hilarious. And so him as Mushu is wonderful. I love everything about that movie. There's nothing in that movie that I say, that could have been better. And then my fourth favorite is Zootopia. Will doesn't like this movie as much as I do. He likes it. He just thinks he gets a different message out of it than I do. I love the characters. I think they're super cute. Again, all the voice actors are amazing for this movie. I don't have any complaints about this movie. Again, Bonnie Hunt is in the movie as well, and we talked about that on Tuesday. Bonnie Hunt shows up in a lot of Disney Pixar things, and she has a great voice for animations. Will grew up in the country. I grew up here in the Dallas area. So we have a different opinion of this movie just based on, I guess, people's views of people from the country. So Will gets out of it that people from the country are just dumb carrot farmers, I guess. I don't get that. What I get from this movie is that you can be anything that you want to be, and don't let anybody tell you differently. Because Judy Hopps, who is a bunny, was supposed to be a carrot farmer. She grew up always wanting to be a police officer, and she made that dream come true. But on the other hand, you have Nick Wilde, who is a fox, and, you know, we always say, what a sly fox. So they played on that in the movie. And Judy learns towards the end of the movie, actually, that she should really trust him, even though he is a fox. So that's what I get out of it. I don't know if that's everyone's view on it. Again, I think the whole movie is really funny. I love how there's so many different animals in it, and I love how they've divided it up into Tundra Town and like the jungle. I mean, there's different parts of Zootopia, and I think that Disney could really do something with that in their parks. So again, there's some music in it that's really great. Gazelle. Yeah, Will just enjoys it overall, doesn't appreciate how they made small town people seem small minded. But in the end, her parents solve the mystery. So, I mean, again, we grew up in different places, so I guess we hear, different stereotypes about people. I didn't see that from the movie, but I understand how some people could. And then my last favorite, this was kind of hard to pick a fifth one, but Princess and the Frog made it in. And I'm so glad Disney did this movie because, you always hear, growing up, you hear that, you just hear the story as a little girl. If you kiss a prince or kiss a frog, you'll turn into a princess. And so for me, I love how they kind of played on that. I've been to New Orleans once and I loved it. I loved the atmosphere. And so I love how they brought that into the movie. The characters' voices are amazing. The music is fantastic. So again, I love pretty much everything about that movie. I don't really have any complaints about that movie. It was super hard to pick a fifth favorite, though. There's so many good ones. I love Moana. I love both Frozens. I love Cars. So it was super hard to pick a fifth, but overall, I think Princess and the Frog won for me. Everything about it is amazing. Okay, so let's move into some underrated films. And these are films that I think are underrated. You may not, but again, that's why we're here. Let us know what you think. Mickey's Girls, Danielle, I agree. I do wish that they would do a remake if it was good, because they did Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella so beautifully. If it was like that, I think it would be fantastic. But it depends on who's directing it, and I would still like to see songs in the movie as well. So, Charlotte is a super underrated character. She's hilarious. And, with Princess and the Frog, you see Tiana is not very wealthy, and Charlotte obviously is. And look at their friendship. So that's something too, we can learn a lot from that as well. As humans, even kids can learn from that we can be friends with anybody. It doesn't matter our race, our background, where we live. They're friends with each other. And I think that is part of the movie that really hits home. Also, it's a good movie because I don't think the overall theme is Tiana falling in love. The overall theme is she's almost there. She has to work hard to get where she is. And again, that's another great lesson that we could learn. Anybody can learn from that. Work hard to get what you want, and your dream will come true. So that's what I really love about that movie. It sends, the overall message kind of gives me chills a little bit. So underrated films, not necessarily in order, but I kind of wanted to throw this one out there. Has anybody seen Oliver and Company? Again, this is one of the most underrated films. I don't know what you would do with it in the parks unless you made a restaurant. Again, I don't know what you would do with it in the parks, but Oliver and Company, the story is a little dark in certain spots. You have he's not really homeless. He lives on a boat, but he has all these dogs. And it's clear in the movie that he owes this big, giant, dark-looking man money. And so it does get kind of dark in parts, but overall, I think it's a good movie. I think it has some good songs in it. The characters are super funny. I love movies that have animals in them, and so there's a lot of dogs and there's several cats in this movie. And so overall, the storyline is good. I think it's a great movie. Again, I don't know what they would do in the parks with it other than some merchandise. It is an older movie too, so it probably more be so for my generation or a little older. Yeah, the plushes. They could do some plushes for sure because the characters are really cute. And then my second most underrated film that I think is underrated is The Aristocats. I love the Aristocats so much. Everything about it is funny. It's cute. It's upbeat. It's sad. You get all your emotions in one movie. And what's really, really funny, I don't like cats in person, but apparently I like to watch cats because Oliver and Company, Oliver is a cat. Like the main character is cat. So I love watching cats. Do I like them in person? No, which is super funny. But as long as none of them die, yes, Tina. As long as none of them die, that's when I don't like movies so much. But yeah, the Aristocats almost made my top 5, almost, because everything about it is great. The music is great. It's funny. It's sad. It's got everything in it. And Edgar kind of cracks me up, even though I think he's kind of a bad guy, but kind of not. So that's what's funny to me about Edgar. I love the horses. I love the mouse. I love everything. So again, that's really underrated. I don't know what they would do with it in the parks other than more plushes. They do have a Marie plush and stuff, and they have the Marie mask. So they do use it a little bit. But I agree. Will said the classic Disney movies have a certain special charm about them, and I agree with that. That's why I like it so much. And then my third most underrated movie that I find super, 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 super underrated, and Will's going to agree with me on this because we love this movie, The Emperor's New Groove. You threw off my groove. That movie is hilarious. And I believe Will's gonna have to check me on this, but is it Kevin Spacey that voices the Emperor? It's one of those people that is friends with Adam Sandler that does all of his movies, basically. The really, really short guy. And no, it's not Kevin Spacey. What's his name? Will, what's his name? Help me out. I don't know why Kevin Spacey jumped in my head. But Emperor's New Groove, hilarious. I think it's so funny. Again, you see the main character, David Spade. That's it, Spade. That's what made me think of Spacey. Okay, Spade, David Spade. He's in all of those movies with Adam Sandler. He has an amazing voice for voice acting, and I think he nailed it. Hi, Car Key. Thank you for joining in. You're going to listen in your car. Thank you. I enjoy that. Thank you so much. Hopefully my voice isn't boring for you in your car. I can sing some songs if you want me to, Car Key. Dawn said she needs to watch Emperors again. Will and I enjoy the classic Disney movies a lot, and I don't even know if that's a classic Disney movie, but it is a little older. We enjoy it. I think it's so funny. Pacha's hilarious. Pacha's wife is hilarious. Don't even get me started on Yzma. I think she is one of the funniest looking characters they have ever drawn, and I love everything about that movie. It kind of talking about it makes me want to go watch it right now. Good morning, Steamboat Disney. Welcome in. So we're talking about our favorite Disney movies, and I'm talking about underrated movies right now. So Emperor's New Groove, definitely think it's underrated. I would love to see, it would be hard to find somebody to, I guess, be those characters in the park because of how they're drawn. Yzma is very, very skinny and kind of weird looking. And again, they're all drawn really weird. So it would be hard to find someone to match their body types in the parks. But I think it would be super cool to have like a dining experience with them or something like that. I don't know. I think they're great. I love everything about Emperor's New Groove. Again, super underrated movie. Hello, Diz Our Dream. They just had a stream this morning too. I think it was a pin unboxing. So if you want to go hop over to their channel after we're done and check that out, that would be awesome. I may do that myself. Okay, now I threw this in here. Favorite soundtracks. I'm not going to talk a lot about them, but I kind of want to know what you think. Alan Menken is a genius. Let's just be honest. He's an absolute genius. Everything he writes is amazing. So some of these soundtracks have his music in them. Pocahontas, Mulan, Frozen 1 and 2. I think both, they did a really good job with the second Frozen, matching how well they did in the first one. Beauty and the Beast, that's the live action and the animated. I think both of them are great. The new songs that they added for the live action Beauty and the Beast, I love them. Again, those were Alan Menken who added those new songs. Aladdin has a great soundtrack, and that's the animated. I don't know. I honestly didn't like the live action, but I just think it's the voice actors that they chose. And then Lion King, again, not the live action. I tried to ignore that even happened as a movie, and I'm going to throw shade. But Lion King, the animated version, and that's one of Will's favorite movies ever, has some of the best music. So again, a lot of those are Alan Menken, and I love it. Yes, Little Mermaid and Tangled songs are really amazing too, and the score. That's something too. The movie scores are important as well, and if a movie doesn't have a good score, you kind of tune out a little bit. So I agree with that. Okay, movies that I have never seen, but I would love to see. So I've never seen The Black Cauldron. I've never seen Hunchback of Notre Dame. This one's a live action. I've never seen Solo, which was the live action version, kind of about Han Solo's life. I've never seen it. Will has seen it. He wants me to see it. Maybe I will at some point, but I cannot get over the fact how that is a different actor playing Han Solo. It drives me nuts. So maybe at some point I'll watch it. I don't know. And then this one Will and I were talking about the other day is The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, which I believe is on Disney Plus. JLB nerdy. Here it is. It's moving so fast. There. Okay. Yeah, Will says I need to see Solo and Rogue One. Maybe at some point I will. I don't know. I have a hard time with that. It not being the original character, but maybe at one point in my life I'll do it, I guess. Okay, so there's some upcoming releases coming out. Again, who knows how they're going to be released. I think that them releasing Mulan on Disney Plus. Okay, JLB Nerdy said Ichabod is on Disney Plus. Watched it last week. Okay, perfect. So maybe that's a movie I need to watch this weekend. Upcoming releases. Again, I think coronavirus has changed a lot of stuff and how we do things. And I think Disney, by putting the live action Mulan on Disney Plus and making people pay an extra $30 for it, I didn't personally agree with that decision, but I think they still made a lot of money from it. And if you have a big family, it's really, really worth it. The chat's going to be moving faster as your channel gets more popular. I know. It's crazy. I can't keep up with it. So I'm glad we have amazing mods who can do that for us because it's really hard. So I don't know how Disney's going to do this. Some of these movies I would pay $30 to see. Some of them I definitely would not. So here's some upcoming releases that are coming out. Jungle Cruise with The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Good morning, my backyard science. Welcome in. So Jungle Cruise, I'm super excited. I love The Rock. I think he's funny. I think he's serious. I think he can do it all. So I'm super excited to see that movie. Will and I would probably pay $30 if it came to Disney Plus to see that. But if it was any other movie, probably not. Black Widow, I am not excited at all, and I don't know why. Will would drop $30 on Black Widow. Okay. Interesting. I would not, but if you want to pay $30, I will watch it with you. That's great. Black Widow, not excited. I don't know why. I don't really like Scarlett Johansson. I don't really like Black Widow in the Marvel cinema. I don't know. I'm not excited. Again, that could be a totally unpopular opinion on my end, but I am super excited for WandaVision coming to Disney Plus soon. That's what I'm excited for, and that will be free. So if you have a subscription to Disney Plus. Soul. I don't know if anybody has seen previews for Soul. I've only seen one myself, and it didn't give us a lot of information, although the previews for Frozen hardly gave us any information at all, and those ended up being some of the best movies I've ever seen. So, I'm not sure how I feel about Soul, just because there's not a lot, I guess a lot to get from, I'm sorry, the sun is now shining into on my face, and I look crazy. Again, not sure how to feel about Soul. Yes, and the WandaVision trailer dropped this week. So everyone go check that out. That'll be on Disney Plus. Not a movie, it's a TV series, but again, super excited. Soul, back to Soul. If anyone has seen a longer trailer, you can drop that link in our comments because I haven't seen a long trailer for it. I love music though, and it seems to be about music. So if it has some great music in it, I'm all for it. I just don't know a lot about it. Okay, then Cruella is coming soon, which is a live action. I still don't know how to feel about this. There is a live action, not Cruella, but there's a live action 101 Dalmatians. You can find it on Disney Plus. I love the live action 101 Dalmatians, and I think the actor who plays Cruella is fantastic in that movie. So I don't know how to feel about this live action. I can't take Emma Stone seriously because anything she's ever done has been a comedy. So I don't know if it'll be good or not. I'm hoping it is because, again, 101 Dalmatians is pretty good, and it's a movie that doesn't get much love anymore. So we'll see if Cruella with Emma Stone is good. Again, let us know if you think that's great. Not that I don't like Emma Stone. I just don't know if she's who I would have picked to play Cruella. And then the last thought that I have on upcoming releases, and then we'll try to wrap it up here, is Thor, Love, and Thunder. So this would be, I think, the fourth Thor movie. And Thor is now a Guardian. If you haven't seen the last movie in the series, he is now officially a Guardian, which I think is amazing. I'm so excited. And I love that we still get some of the original characters and some of the original Avengers. Thor is one of my favorite Avengers. I love Thor, and I love who plays Thor. Am I excited that Natalie Portman is coming back for this movie? Not necessarily. I don't know. I feel like she's not a bad actress, but I feel like how she left the series, she wasn't in that last one because she wanted to leave. There was some stuff that went on in filming, and she wanted to leave, and now all of a sudden she wants to come back. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that because I think she's going to be like the female version of Thor. So I'm not sure. I love Thor, but I don't know if I want Natalie Portman to come back or not. So we'll see. I'm sure it'll be great no matter what. I just, I don't know. Again, I like Natalie Portman. I don't know if I want her to come back. So we'll see. They've done great with all of them so far, so I cannot wait to see some more Avengers movies come out. It was kind of a Debbie Downer after the last movie hit, and so to see some of the original Avengers come back would be great. I can't wait for some of the Disney Plus series that they're doing. They're doing a Loki series as well as the WandaVision. So I can't wait to dive down. Will knows Loki's my boyfriend. Always has been, always will be. That's my Loki. I love me some Loki. So I can't wait to see that too. So again, please, 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 I know that these are just my opinions. And I know everyone has their own opinions about what movies are great, what movies aren't great. And so I would love for you to keep commenting, drop some comments. If you are watching this on the replay, please feel free to comment your favorite movies, movies that you haven't seen but want to see, movies that you think we would enjoy. I'm always interested in watching new movies. So go check out Diz Our Dream, and then Danielle from Mickey's Girls, and then go Diz Our Dream. You just became some of my favorite people. Pocahontas is our favorite princess movie. That's mine too. That's like my favorite movie ever. So anyway, go check out some of our other I guess sister brother channels, Monarch Moments, Diz Our Dream. They've really, really helped us along the way. Dole Whip Dad, I think he used to go live on Saturdays. The Lynn Project, she goes live a lot, so you'll see some good content from her. And then Resort TV One, obviously, they've been live in Universal lately. So if you are planning a trip to Universal, go check them out as well. I hope everyone has a great, great Saturday. We will be going live on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Time. That's Will and Dawn are always on that stream. I sometimes pop in and out of that stream. So if you want to check us out on Tuesday, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell so you know whenever we go live. And have a great Saturday, and hurry back. Bye-bye, everyone. I hope you have a great Saturday.